Actually, MAIT's full form is Manufacturers Association of IT, which basically stands for the IT hardware industry. And MAIT is unique in the sense that it is probably one of the only or a few associations which has been conceptualized by the government.
Okay.
Way back in 1982, there was a Society of Science which was basically managed by the scientists and senior government officials. And they decided that there's a need for an association which focuses on the IT hardware. And that is where the MAIT was conceptualized. And MAIT was the prime association at that time, but then liberalization happened, and which was actually good for the country, and software took a bigger role there.
Absolutely.
So that was the time when the hardware manufacturing reduced in India. And so around late 90s and early 2000s, it was more of software which was given the focus, and therefore hardware manufacturing was reduced and imports were introduced. And but now again the time has come back wherein we are in a window where hardware manufacturing has to come to us. And that is where we are playing our role. We are into policy advocacy, ease of doing business, business development. All those issues for this sector is being handled by MAIT.
Very interesting, sir. And so, if I may ask, what, is it only for big companies? Do you guys work with startups? What kind of, organizations does it work with? What kind of organizations are your members?
So the entire spectrum is our member.
Okay.
We cater to the entire ecosystem, which deals with mainly the IT hardware part of it. So be it the OEMs, the EMS players, the manufacturers, the component manufacturers, even the recyclers who take the care of the equipment after its life cycle is over, and both small and large players, all are our members.
So, MAIT, whenever it takes a view, has a very, holistic voice, I would say then, because you have a number of members, from different, who have different concerns, I'm sure, and who have different worries. So, it must be very interesting to kind of deal with that. So, how do you kind of balance, sometimes I'm sure there are opposing views as well. So, how do you balance that as, the Director General of the organization?
A very interesting question and equally interesting answer. Probably we are one of the few associations which is very democratic.
Okay.
So we try and ensure that views of all the members are taken into account. And as you rightly brought out, there are situations when there is a opposition between different category of members. So we do try and get the maximum things aligned so that views are covered in a way that it benefits everyone. However, our main focus always remains that the country comes first. We'll always focus on a representation or the advocacy which takes country at the first level, industry at the second level, and individual company or mate is the last in the series.
Interesting, very interesting, because I do feel there could be a natural tension there between, the priorities of companies sometimes and, the needs of companies, and also, what the government's goals are. Sometimes, they obviously complement each other, but sometimes, there can be a inherent tension. So it's good to see, where MAIT stands on those issues.